welcome to my domain. Hello, hello. Better with bacon. My ear trumpet. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing okay. Gonna let the music blast a couple more minutes before I switch over. Getting a drink set up and myself comfy. Just in a techno mood today. I've been loving this progressive house mix by Mr. Suicide Sheet. 4.5 hours. Bunch of different artists. And it just kinda, I don't know. It just really moves me. Bit green there. Hold on. Turning the music down a bit. There we go. What are we doing here? Oh man. Oh, the music is so good. Okay. I guess I need to turn it down even more. You guys tell me how loud the music is. Let's adjust the camera. There we go. I can look you guys in the eye. I'm really bad at looking at the camera. So I always look, you know, at your belly button when I talk. You know, I'm staring at your breasts, just trying to figure out, you know, I don't know where to look. It's just so magnetic. I'm just about to say the music was loud. Yeah, that's what my mixer tells me. So I don't know. Can I show this? I'm gonna figure this out. Let me hide a couple stuffs. Let's see. Got cam. Got a website. I don't want to show the website. How can we do this? Oh, I'm very sorry. This was very loud, probably. Well, let's stay here for a moment. So I got a not new setup. I've changed a lot of things on Discord. So I'm trying to see if I can show you things. Yeah, because not every place has the music on. And I am trying to show it to you. There we go. Got the endless portal. How do I? Okay. There we go. So this is what I'm looking at. And I changed up everything in here. So yeah, it's the whole setup of my catalogs, like all the background pictures to quickly change what we're looking at, you know. And this PDA over here, of course. And it's it always takes some time. It was really exhausting. Message retracted. Okay, let's there we go. Music jump scare. I'm gonna hide this one for now. Got this is the video I'm listening to. Taking You Higher by Mr. Suicide Chip. I just really love his stuff. Damn. So let's go here to this window. Seems like a good place to start. Got the lighting set up. Let's see, can I do it? Yeah, we can keep that one off for now. How are you guys doing? How are you doing? See 2 people here. Thank you for joining. I know it's well, let's see. It's in the middle of day over there, so lots of you Americans must be at work. And well, maybe some Europeans show up. I'm really sorry about that music jump scare. So The new setup is pretty much like a roadcaster down there, you know. It's really good at staying invisible. Oh well, it doesn't want to show itself. Trying to route all the music through the roadcaster so you guys can hear everything I'm saying. You guys can hear the music on the computer, you can hear the browsers, you can hear the gameplay, and have everything go through their own channels, and also having me be able to control them, not just for me to listen to, but for you, the audience, to listen to of how it changes, you know? Like when I'm pushing up the dial, then I want it to push up on the stream. When I pull down the dial, then when I pull it down, it will also be lower for you. And that's not automatic, that's a whole fucking setup. Needing to install plugins for OBS. This one's called OBS MIDI MG setup. And I know of this one because Dean sent me a link of a YouTuber explaining how it all works and going through it step by step, and that's what I've spent like the last 3 hours doing. It's setting up my OBS, setting up the plugin, and cleaning up all of the different scenes I have, right? All the different scenes that are super, that have been like, I've been collecting scenes for like 2 years now. They're all set up in different ways and none of them make any sense. And I cleaned it up, and when I went through it, I realized what was I even doing? I basically walked uphill both ways. On the way to work in Australia. All right. Gotcha. Good to know. And so I got all those scenes, and I'm still missing some stuff. Do I have it? Where do I have this one? There we go. Doing okay on the way to work to Australia. Now we can see it on screen. Yeah. Live man. Hello Nicholas. How are you, man? Glad to see you. On the train. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you know, you could be in a car being driven by an Uber, getting the luxury treatment. Always possible. Well, I'm just gonna... Yeah, this was enough time to let people fill in. We are up to... Wow, it's been 10 minutes since I switched over. How does time go so fast? Holy sh... I swear, I have no idea how this happens to me every single time I start waffling. Okay, let's get into it. I wanted to stream to you guys. I wanted to play some video games. I wanted to take advantage of all this hardware I have and, you know, spend more time streaming. Well, maybe not too much, but more, because I've been neglecting my YouTube channel pretty much. I have like ideas that I'd like to do, and then I'm not doing them, right? And I've had role-playing ideas that I'm not putting into videos, but I am formulating the thoughts, and you guys will know, like, especially in putting them on the Discord, And so I'm gonna pull up some stuff that I have written down to share with y'all. So let's get to it. So I'm looking through what we've been chatting, and one thing that struck to me was when Conway was chatting about like slop tubers. As you know, YouTube channel that just posts a bunch of slop, like low quality advice in like a well-polished video, pretty much. Nicely packaged, easily accessible, non-offensive, broad strokes, all that kind of stuff. Low Grognard. Have you ever heard of BLG? Yeah, man. BLG is the reason why I know about 40 Roleplay, because they talked with Mr. Max Poivin. They had an interview. And that's how I heard about 40 Roleplay and what led me to this whole scene, this whole community. I joined the Discord and got into the talk shows. And bada bing, bada boom, here I am. I do content. Yeah, as opposed to our content, which is quality slop. Look, it's not, it's by definition not slop if it's quality, right? It's artisanal role-playing videos. These videos achieve a specific purpose for a specific group of people, not just anyone, for people of fine taste. And not just any taste, like a specific taste. That's why it's artisanal roleplay content, not slop, not quality slop either. Oh, Grognard. Oh yeah. Have I been on BLG? No, man. I don't do enough videos, honestly. And also, none of my videos have gained any traction. I did get the chance to talk to one of them, the young Steven Buscemi guy. He joined for one of our when we all met together to basically what's the word, to brief about genre, to come together. I don't know the English word for that, to come together to pay our respects. He showed up for that and was very nice being able to talk to him. But outside of that, I'm pretty small, and even if I was invited, I would say like, why are you talking to me? Like, talk to somebody like Nicholas. He can hold a conversation much better. Talk to Mr. Max, he has way more ideas, and Crispy is much better formulating them. 28mm, he just has, the veterancy on me. He thought about these things for much longer than me, honestly. If I was invited, I would feel like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Unless they just want to chat with me, in which case it doesn't even need to be a stream. Yeah, I'm down to chat. But I'm also down to chat while YouTube is going. And they get, let them make like $50 in donations or whatever. It's all good. I'm sick of hearing AI voiceovers on YouTube videos. Yeah, man. AI voiceovers, that's a big problem. Since YouTube decided that it's up to the YouTuber to turn off some obscure setting on their channel or their video. And because the YouTuber has to do it and not the consumer, it means you have like no control over it. It's always automatic, and then you have to turn it on. Then you have to turn it off manually, which makes it such a pain point in using YouTube. I like it a bit more every time when it's videos not in English that get English translated. I've been enjoying a couple of role-playing game videos. I'm talking like video game videos that have RPG elements, where they talk about the RPG elements in those, which were like originally in Italian or in Russian, that then get auto-translated. So I enjoyed a very old like Fallout 2 video, not a very old video, but like a Fallout 2 video, but it's a very old video game that way, which was very enjoyable. I think it would be wise to interview you and some of the other Wise and Footy YouTubers. Thank you, Groundnerd. It's quite flattering. I'm happy you think that way. But you know, in the absence of BLG, you can also ask any questions that you want, that you need answered, right? Like, just let it rip. All right. So, some thoughts I had about roleplay. If you guys have any specific topics, just ask. Let me know. But before I go into like sharing, like hearing from you guys on what you guys think, I want to have this like be more of a free flow stream. So I'm gonna bring up what I think, gonna bring up what's cool. And after that, we can talk. And after that, you know, we just have some fun. And then I'm gonna play some video games. You can watch me play video games. Or if, you know, you're not really interested in video games, obviously, feel free to hop off. So I'm gonna... Thoughts I had on the Discord, and you guys probably read those because, well, maybe not. It's walls of text, right? When I post, something sparks the imagination. Or, I mean, that it's such a big word, but it does, it sparks a thought, and I follow those thoughts through. And typing it all out on Discord really helps me just process what I'm thinking. If I'm only thinking about it in my own head, I get lost very easily. You know, I get distracted, I get lost, get multiple thoughts, and then they get jumbled up, and I follow one and I lose the other three, pretty much. I'm sure you guys are no stranger to those problems. But one of those is like game masters that like run games outside our circles. They run combat and they realize that, oh, this is like not super exciting. So if I run the combat just by the book, I'm like fenced in, I'm locked in. So what if, I think a lot of GMs experience it out there, what if I just give like some leash, some leeway to the players to expand what they want to do? If they want to negotiate for surrender or truce, or try to scare them away, and not follow the strict turn order, but allow for more elements of roleplay during the fight, during the combat. And you know, it's like, does it break the rules? Well, technically, if there's a strict turn order, some role-playing games are more flexible than others. Some have it like more, some have harder definitions that won't allow for that flexibility. But I think like most role-playing games, you can just sprinkle in some elements of talking in character while it's somebody else's turn, and the universe is not gonna break down. You know, it doesn't feel like, oh no, we just spent like a 2-minute scene when it's supposed to be a 6-second combat turn for everybody. So needs a bit of flexibility on the players to imagine the scene, and also a bit of letting go, like playing a bit more hard and fast with the rules of, is it really 6 seconds for one full combat turn for everybody at the table? If yes, this is just super boring, and we need to like speed up taking rounds in the first place. Because it would mean that, hey, combat starts, 18 seconds, everybody's dead. You know, like 3 full combat turns later, everybody's dead. And then that would roleplay out differently. But most people don't do that. Most people don't roleplay like blink and you miss it. 7 goblins died in a massacre as they try to ambush. And you realize, hey, 24 seconds has passed. Now I'm in a pile of bloody goblins. And then you have time to process what just really happened. Because at the table, we are spending 45 minutes to play out 4 combat turns. And after 45 minutes, your thought process is very different to after 24 seconds. So I think like not much is lost if you allow the players to roleplay more and like let go of the combat turn, like have goblins react, have the NPCs react to the truce offer, to negotiating the surrender, or to scare them away. And the GMs realize, hey, I can give them this like olive branch and let them figure it out. And you know, if it doesn't go anywhere, they tried 2 or 3 times and literally doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, right. Like combat resumes, you know, somebody's like, I've had enough of this and loses his arrow. And now the players, they take damage, you know, sucks for them. But it's also a drawback of trying to find peaceful ways that violence will undercut. That is very much thematic to how violence works, you know? It's like, hey, yeah, they're still talking once fists start flying. What do you want to say? Like when you got like, what's it called? A fist sandwich coming to you. Giving players the freedom of choice and agency being a fundamental pillar of role-playing. I think this one is very much obvious for the people here. And if not, you can always ask why we can delve into this a bit more. It's like, yeah, that makes like makes it for me very difficult to watch like the popular role-playing game tubers, popular D&D tubers, because they proselytize the illusion of choice when honestly you just give them the freedom to choose for themselves. The illusion of choice is take 1, take 2, or take 3. Go left or go right. Go up or go down. But the freedom of agency is, where do you want to go? And he says, I'll turn around in a circle 2 times. Pick a direction by random. A point in any old direction. Maybe they roll the dice, maybe they just think about, and then I point. You know, they can say, then I just point and start walking. And hey, as a game master, now it's up to you to decide which way he is walking. Because the player deferred, he dribbled, you know, you gave him the ball, he dribbled, he faked you out, he threw the ball back to you. Now you tell him the direction the party went, alright? Traveling down the road. This, walking towards the forest. The random direction leads to a lake. It's the difference between the illusion of choice and the freedom of choice. So, and then that got me thinking too, well, I don't mean to be postmodernist in the sense of like letting go of preconceived notions, like that's a big problem with those YouTubers. But letting go of preconceived notions of how to run a game. Because we are establishing new rules on how to roleplay best. Right? Our claim, how do you achieve 100% immersive roleplay? Meaning, how can you be immersed in the world as your character and watch through his eyes what is happening around you for as long time as possible. And it's kind of like diving. You immerse yourself and you hold your breath. And you just try to see if you can last longer than 30 seconds. Can you last longer than 2 minutes? Can you last longer than 3 minutes? Like some divers, they do what? I think they do like 15 minutes now. Like absolutely insane times. I'm not sure if I'm correct on that, but divers are figuring out new methods to hold their breaths for longer, like absolutely insane. And of course, the deeper you go, the higher the pressure. The deeper you go, the higher the pressure will be on you. And to deal with that pressure, you need the rules to support you. So, I'm gonna read like my own messages here and like regurgitate them to you guys. So if you let go of the preconceived notions of preparing for everything that's gonna happen at the table next session, then that means you need to replace it with something else. Like, there's the primal fear behind that notion that I'm not ready. But you can never be ready when you prepare. At some point, you drop the pen and you stop writing your novella and let the players experience the world. We all have to do that. Either it's by force, you already scheduled the session, and that's your time limit. Or it's you're just writing your session and you don't feel ready and you push it off, and 3 months pass by. You have been writing the session for 3 months, for 100 hours. And then you still have to stop and play the game. 100 hours, 8 hours, 20 minutes, brainstorming on a napkin. Those are all ways to prep. But as we have seen over the last year with the ultimate no prep challenge by Mr. Max Bourwan, who came up with that turn of phrase, who coined that term, and that we've seen reinforced with Uriah's weekly challenge, which I've played, I think, about 4 times with him, maybe 5 times. It's a fantastic example that you can run excellent roleplay sessions without any prep. Excellent meaning I feel fully immersed. I think those are some of the best sessions I've ever played as a player myself. Which means that preparation is inconsequential to the quality of the game being played. Now, if you can accept this truth about role-playing games, that preparation is inconsequential to the game being role-played, to sitting at the table and role-playing, then that should be incredibly freeing. Like, holy shit. Finally, you can let go of your anxieties, you can let go of your fears, you can put the pen down, you can free your mind, and you can have fun. Because that's been like, what's the way? It's almost like chaining yourself to some far-flung ideal, right? On how you're supposed to roleplay. It's like way out there. But you can let go of that. But still, I'm reading my own messages, so I'm sorry for those pauses. So that's a fact that shatters GM's minds. And I think this is a fact that a lot of other role-playing channels are too afraid to accept or like don't want to let go. Like this is an idea in their head, like preparation is so important. They cannot let go of that because it would change their whole philosophy. If it changes the whole philosophy and they accept that, then what are the last 10 years of video contents worth on their channel, right? Or 2 years or 1 year, like what's the back catalog worth once they accept it? If they change it, then are their fans gonna think, so what, so you just swindled me? I've been following you because I believed you. Now you said, oh, you changed your mind. You know, you might get backlash for that. Yeah, change your mind. Don't be afraid of what other people think of you. Good people will be like, oh, you changed your mind? You think this is better? Interesting, I will think about that. And people who have been idolizing you, who've built an unhealthy relationship, they will think, well, he betrayed my trusts. How could he do this to me? I'm gonna unsubscribe. Or I'm gonna leave mean comments, I'm gonna slander you, I'm gonna do all of this shit. Which I guess that's a fear that's natural, like, yeah, if you're big enough, there will be enough others in your subscriber list that can go that way. And it also means like, hey, yeah, if you're a slob tuber, if you produce weekly content on a schedule, and so it doesn't matter on the quality of the video, it doesn't matter of the quality of the advice, all that matters is that you have the script ready, recorded, and the video production done to upload it on YouTube, then you will attract to the you will be attractive to the lowest common denominator, and it's gonna be much easier to throw you under the bus than to look into yourself and be introspective about it. Right? I'm pretty sure all of us can agree on that. So I do think like inconsequential is a bit of a hard term for like a prep is inconsequential. But because there are benefits to prepping. What I mean is like it is not a core pillar of roleplay. It's not the core, it's not secondary, it's tertiary. Preparation is a side dish. It's not part of the main course. You can do without and have a fantastic meal. Now, if you have time to prep, I think it's nice. But you don't need it. So I'm just typing a lot more stuff out. So let's go to the big point of we cannot when we try to help people how to roleplay, we cannot just get rid of everything they try to do, right? I cannot just say, don't do this, you know, don't talk while somebody else's turn. Don't speak out of character. Don't do this, don't do that. Like all of those restrictions, they help, but they don't offer solutions. So we need to, if we take something away, right, it leaves a vacuum, it leaves a void. You need to replace it with something to fill that gap. So if I can't rely on prep to run a good session, what should I rely on? And that's been my idea that I've been looking for, like how would I describe this? And it's to fill the void of like no prep. You need to build a skill set a skill set that allows you to like GM dynamically, right? To run your tables more dynamically. And I have no better word for that than what I'm saying, like dynamic GMing or dynamic table running is maybe also a good way to phrase it. And dynamic meaning that it involves the particular set of skills that, unlike the adventure that you're writing, your skill set can be relied on every game you run in the future forever. So you can draw on the skill set for 10 years, you can draw on the skill set for 40 years, you can draw on the skill set whether you play D&D, or whether you play Pathfinder, or ECD6, or Traveler, or Star Wars RPG. You can use the same skill set for every role-playing game, because it's dynamic. I mean, that's just the whole premise about this. If you prep, you can get better at prep, you can get more effective at prep, but prep will look different for role-playing games. But also prep is not core to achieve an excellent session, to achieve excellent roleplay. It's tertiary. So you can get better at prep, but it will be harder because consuming the lore of Star Wars is very time intensive for prepping for a Star Wars game. And you cannot take this over to prepping your Faroon game or for prepping your Dune role-playing game. You know? If you read 10 books of Warhammer Fantasy, it does not translate to Warhammer 40k and stuff like that. So, hello Digital Dude, welcome. Nice to have you here. So I have a set of points, and I would love to hear what you guys think about those, and maybe we can add stuff to this. Now, I'm separating this list from roleplay because how to roleplay is also a core element, but for like how to roleplay, we have invented 40 roleplay as a concept, right? It's a set of rules to like get rid of a bunch of stuff so you can just focus on role-playing. So for me, role-playing is solved. I don't need it anymore. Role-playing is solved. So how do you run games? That's dynamic GMing. A set of tools that you can, a set of skills that you can build individually to be a dynamic GM yourself. So here, those are, it's not a complete list, right? It's not complete. And I'm trying to by its nature, it needs to fit for running any game, any role-playing game. If the premise is to role-play with the other people at your table, those skills are important. So here we go. Like the first one I've written down is like having a cool premise. You need to be able to draw in players at your table, right? A cool premise is, it's all about getting players at your table. Do you get strangers at your table, or can you get your friends at your table? In both cases, you will need a cool premise. So how do you come up with those? So my example was, we will play D&D, but you're all picking monstrous races. You're gonna play orcs, you're gonna play goblins, you're gonna play catfolk, you will be a lizard, you can be a giant. Leave it up to the players. Like, okay, then the players, they can like take the core premise and evolve it in the session 0. I just said monstrous races, like don't play something boring, you know, pretty much. And that sparks for the people that read the premise, it makes them think of what they could do in the premise and gets them involved. And the premises, that's something you can easily practice just by thinking, what would you like to play? What would make a premise interesting to you, right? You think about those. You think about how many games you've played. If you haven't played many, then, you can keep it basic. Maybe the core premise is that it's 40 roleplay. Maybe the core premise is we're gonna play 4 sessions in 4 weeks, and at the end of the month it's over. After 10 sessions, it's over. It's a cutoff point. We're gonna play for 8 hours, and after 8 hours, the whole campaign has been resolved. The premise could be it's a 30-minute session. It's a training session. That's maybe I'm like stretching a bit of the definition of the premise, but it's your hook. It's what gets people to agree to play with you, and have those be appealing, and have a strong point. It's not good enough to just play D&D together. For some people it is, but you can do much more. And if you can have like a strong premise, it will also differentiate you from other players and other GMs, and also try to get players that you're more or less competing with in your communities, in your areas. I say compete, like we all sharing, but also we all have limited time. So good quality game masters always have players asking, can I play with you? And it's gonna be 4-hour session. That's gonna be the Friday night booked off. Like I'm playing with him, but I can't play with you because I'm already locked in with that other guy who's running banger games. So it's a very good skill set to have. So with the premise, point 2, you can find players that are interested in buy-in, which allows you to run a session 0. Well, it's basically the same point. So establish the knowns in the world, which the players are aware of, and have a list of unknowns, which will be the main driving force of events in the time frame of the role-playing game. And this is the one that I picked up from 28mm RPG, Rick, who's been awesome. He is just an amazing guy. Hope he's shredding his guitar on the tour he's on. I believe he's a guitar player. He might also be the singer. I'm not sure, so Rick, let me know. The knowns and the unknowns is such a great way to talk about, hey, like, what's this world about? What do we know? Do we know the names of the gods? Are they important? What is important? Oh, we are all from the same orc tribe. And there's also a goblin tribe because I'm gonna play goblin. Okay, what's the relationship? It's a 2-class system. Master and servant. The goblins subjugate themselves to the orcs for protection, survival, and hunting, being fed, shelter. But it allows them to steal, to connive, to expand, to breed, to not get hunted to extinction, to spread themselves, and to become ambitious. Great things. Those are all knowns. We know they're evil. We don't know if they're loyal or not. It's like, hey, that's up to the goblin to decide. That's, for me as a game master, I can roleplay a goblin that's gonna help you all the way to the bank, and right as you get the money, he takes it from you. You don't know if he's loyal or not. You build in unknowns into the world that are for you as a game master that the players don't know about. It's your tools in the toolbox that's gonna keep the game interesting. Now, for knowns and unknowns, there's also, you also extend like, what do we want to focus on? and what do we not want to focus on. This is the very, very popular. What I love to break this down on is very popular. Hey, we're gonna play a sci-fi game, sci-fi role-playing game, where we travel the stars, and humanity has expanded into several star systems already. There are whole empires. And you establish some knowns, like, yeah, we got an empire. There's been aliens. We have androids. But you can also put in like vetoes, like, and that's what I mean, vetoes of, but I don't want no AI intelligence in the story. That's a classic one. It can also be like, no aliens in the story. I would love a sci-fi world, but it's all humans. Maybe it's more like a Japanese sci-fi story. I can't remember any of the names, like which one is it? The Empire of Galactic Heroes? Is that the right one? You guys can probably help me. Is that the right word? I don't think. The League of the Galactic Heroes? Yeah, that must be it. The League of the Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Welcome here, Crab. So it's like, okay, you got a human factions. I'm gonna fight each other. You can also establish like, okay, I want sci-fi, but I don't want high sci-fi. I want how we imagine sci-fi in the 70s. Everything is mechanical, everything is interlocking. Like microprocessors, like we didn't go into the micro, we went into the macro, like metallurgy got so much better. We figured out we figured out how to survive the vacuum. We figured out how to terraform, but we didn't figure out how to make like tiny, super awesome machines. So every machine is super big, it's super loud, it's super mechanical. It's tactile, it's haptic. Those are knowns that you can establish. Alright, another skill that's very good for dynamic GMing is like the factions at play. Who lives in the area that you're gonna roleplay in? Who's in control? Who is affected? Who is likely to do something and act if the players interfere with the status quo? And what tools are at their disposal? It's like, okay, it's just thinking about a set of tools. You have the premise, now you think about those things. And that is prep. Indeed. But we think those same things at the Ultimate No Prep Challenge in 5 minutes. So that's the whole point of, hey, you can do this on a napkin, you can do it in the shower, you can go on a walk. It doesn't need your 100-hour manifesto of your world. The Legend of Galactic Heroes. Thank you. I think that one is it. Yes, that's the one I'm thinking of. Absolutely. So, if you have that skill set that you can like easily think those things through, and I say easily, it's like you practice those things. Come up with a premise. Think about what the players are gonna play. Put in some rules. Put in some knowns. Put in some rules. Okay, it's known that we've expanded throughout the galaxy. Your Earth isn't important, or if it's important, it's not. It's one star system amongst like hundreds, right? And then you have those rules like, hey, but we don't do AI. Like, they are robots, but they're funny and cute. They're simple. They do one job or one task. Stuff like that. You think about like what factions I play. Okay, for my Lich's Rex, the faction was the Lich King and his marauding horde, the orcs, the goblins, and there were probably more. I'm thinking giants, I'm thinking hordes of undead. The Lich King and his faction of evil against the bastion of good, the human civilizations, and the civilizations, elves, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, you know, as secondary factions thrown in there. Those were for me the two big factions. Then I was thinking, there's this big forest, and it's not just a big forest, it's the forest that leads to the wilderness, controlled by the elves. And in my thought, I'm already thinking, okay, so there's a faction of elves, and the elves don't like the humans. They don't really negotiate with humans, but they banded together with the humans to stop the Lich King. And after that, they fucked off to be reclusive again. So this giant fucking forest is gotta have an elf that claims it as its own. Maybe even an elf settlement. That's a faction that I'm thinking of. Then I'm thinking of the tribe is alive because they are at the borderlands. They have outside human terrains and pushed into the borderlands, into the wilderness, where things are savage and not under control. The Badlands are getting poisoned by the presence of the orcs, using fell magic, using dark necromancy. It's just how I'm like describing jagged terrain, like spikes out of the floors, spiky hills, and the orc strongholds with the village for the tribe. I'm very much like Warcraft coded myself. I love those kinds of stories of wherever the orcs go through, there will be no forest anymore because it all goes into the war machine. And I like that aesthetic a lot too. So I draw those aspects from that. So like the factions that play, like who's gonna do something when the place interferes? Like, well, there will be bandit humans out here. And what if there's also barbarians? What if it's like two different human factions? And I came up with those pretty much after we had a session 1. And I was thinking like, where could the story go? And then I come up with more ideas. So I had multiple human factions, which made it interesting for me of, hey, we have multiple encounters, but they are different, they are distinct. And they also distinctly acted differently when push came to shove, when combat is about to erupt and erupted. Red Bastard was right about the elves, man. Yeah, he was. He was. The elves, they just wanted to stick for themselves. They wanted to be in harmony with nature. They do not care about the quarrels of the other civilizations that are just eroding everything around them and destroying Gaia itself. So my next point for like dynamic GMing, what you need is table pacing. Table pacing defined specifically by how long it takes for one player to get his turn again. And this is something that is trackable. Now, what is easy is tracking how long does it take for your table, when like you as a player, when you take a turn, until you get to take a turn again. What's the delta, right? You can measure this easily. What's difficult is deciding what is a good amount of time. Is it 30 seconds? which is, everybody takes 5 seconds and then it's your turn again. Does it mean that going faster is always better? Would it be the best if it's just 10 seconds? We all just say one word, go in a circle before we say one word again? No, not really. So you need to get a feeling for table pacing. What is good pacing? And figure this out. So maybe we can go into the detail about table pacing. I would say the important part here is this is where you can take full advantage of 40 roleplay. Is say where you are, what you do, and speak in character, say a line in character.
Let me tell you a little story.
You scratch your sides, you scratch your bum, you sniff your finger, you shift uneasily in the presence of the elf. You look disheveled, try to push your pompadour back into shape, and you say, well, I didn't expect such fine company in this, didn't she, in? And that gives a lot of, obviously it fills the mind of what the scene looks like, but it's easy for you as a player and as a game master to determine what the player should do when it's their turn. Say where you are, what you do, and speak in character. Hey, your 3 goals when it's your turn. And you can stick to that pretty much in every role-playing game. And with that, it allows you to be like, okay, but I want to do more. Maybe I want to do more. Like, did I do enough? It's like, yeah, if you did those 3 things, you can let go. It's the next guy's turn. You play with other people, right? So you share the time and you work together. So don't be don't hog the microphone. Play ball, right? It's a sports game. It's a team game, It's a team game. So table pacing is a very important skill set for the game master. Player agency is my next point. The players agreed to the premise, influenced the world at session 0, are informed of the knowns in the world. Now the players can act however they wish in this framework. This is player agency. So you give them full agency, and as GM, you only affect the character agency by how the world acts or reacts to the player characters. Pretty simple point. For dynamic GMing, it is very important to give your player agency. Why is it important? If you don't give them agency and you give them the illusion of choice itself, you are taking upon yourself to solve every problem before it happened. You solve your own problem. So now, whenever you're on the game, you already know the solution. So first of all, it's boring. Second of all, it's a bunch of homework. Third of all, I don't want to think if I can offload it to 4 other people at my table. Super simple for me. So don't give players the illusion of choice, give them player agency. So that's why it's an important skill set in dynamic GMing. You always have fire music. Thank you. I don't know if it's too loud or not. But man, I just enjoy the music too much myself. And my last point is player constellation. Learning and understanding how people act and behave with each other. Who is outspoken? Who is shy? Who needs some prodding? Who needs to be reined in? This is a skill set outside the scope of GMing, outside the scope of roleplay, but it is integral to the skill set of GMing. You cannot play games without knowing how to handle different players and how well they and how their dynamic is gonna interact with each other. Player constellations, understanding player constellations and being able to work different constellations together, and how you can change and adapt yourself is such an important part of dynamic GMing that it's gonna separate you from the good from the best. A little too loud, you think? I'll turn it down a bit more. So, the music, I've tried to, the setup that I have, like trying to change the music on one end and have it also do the same thing on the OBS, but they're not one-to-one linked together. And I've been trying to link it up like one-to-one, so it's always the same audio for you as it's for me. But that is super hard. For some reason, it's super hard to achieve that with the plugin. And this is my first test run. And maybe I can fidget around a little bit more so it behaves more like I wanted it to. All right. Thank you for saying that. I turned it down a little bit now. So yeah. Let's see. What do you guys think about the idea of dynamic GMing and what it takes? I'd love to hear what you think. Sounds perfect? Great. Good to know that music is better now. So, dynamic GMing, like having a cool premise which allows you to get players to buy in. Running a session 0 to figure out the knowns and the unknowns of the world. The session 0 also allows to expand on the premise, to learn the factions of play, figure out the factions of play, who lives here, who's in control, who's affected, who is likely to do something, who will act. Because those are the players that you want to think about that are gonna cross paths with the player characters. Table pacing, defined on how long it takes for one player to get his turn again, and practicing good table pacing and feeling the doubt. And I think this can be different from table to table, but you also need to think about what would make the pacing better. And I think this field is very much still a work in progress on how to achieve that. And I think there are different styles out there that have different practices. In the wilderness of game masters running their own tables however they want. So you will have tables that say, I just go around the table and they say, Nicholas, what do you do? And then Conway, it's your turn. Flame zombie. And then I speak as a game master, what happens? And then Nicholas, Conway, flame zombie. And then I'll react again. And going around the table in a strict military order. Like, we're not fudging around, you're not cutting in. That is quite restrictive, but with the restriction it also means, hey, I don't have to how do you say this? The anxiety goes away of trying to like, oh, when it's gonna be my turn again? Do I need to butt in? So it can be very, very helpful for super shy players to get to play, finally getting in there and doing what they want to do. Because they just too socially awkward or like too afraid to butt in. They don't want to confront the other players like, oh, can I have my turn? They don't want to offend, or you know, they maybe they for good or bad reasons. Like maybe they build like this whole castle in their own minds of the possible negative consequences if they're gonna try to say something in character, you know. And outside of like strictly taking turns, also having it a bit more free flow where like, okay, other characters can react and you allow for like a back and forth 2 or 3 times and then you stop. And good table pacing is also learning, hey, this scene has gone for long enough. There's more in the scene we can do, but before we do that, we swap over to Telash. Okay, we've had the scenes in the tavern, talking about having a beer, talking to the barmaid. Now the scene is dragging on a little bit. We're forgetting about Telash. Telash, what are you doing? I'm in the bathtub, sitting on a 3-legged stool in the bathing room with the moon shining through the shutters and a couple candles illuminating the inside, shining off his naked shoulders as he washes his body with a wet rag. And for me, that was like all I needed to say, where I am and what I'm doing. And it's a great way to change between scenes, to keep the game flowing and bring dynamics to the table of different scenes we can imagine. Keeps it interesting. Player agency, like that they agree to the premise, influence the world at session 0. They are informed of the knowns in the world, and that allows them to have agency in the world. So now they have all the tools, they're fully equipped to stay in character and to act however they wish. Because they know the premise, they know the world, and they influenced it. They have skin in the game, and they have true goals and dreams. And maybe you have some 1 or 2 catastrophic world events planned, in which case their dreams are gonna get dashed and destroyed. But that's okay, because they have full agency to handle this however they wish, in character. It can also be something you can establish as part of the campaign, like, please no world-ending events in the game, please. Like, agreeing to a premise of a low-stakes game can also be a thing. Or agreeing to a high-stakes game. Actually, it's about the whole fucking universe. We're battling over space and time itself. We're fighting the gods of order as the gods of chaos. And thinking about the scope that we want to have in the game. And as we play, the scope can adapt and shift, but we start with a premise. And the last one again, like player constellation, learning and understanding how people act and behave with each other, and how you can curb back on the outspoken one to give room for the shy players, or how to enable the outspoken players to drive the narrative, to drive the adventure. So you can lean back and be positively surprised of all the great ideas that come from them. And for the shy players to have their introspective scenes that give so much perspective to what is happening in this chaotic world. In many ways, it's a courtesy thing, being cognizant of how much time you're taking and being better about passing the baton to the next person so they have a chance to do what they want to do. I agree, yeah, it's a courtesy thing. It's hard to put it into like hard rules, but it's skill set. And You have to learn how to do it with your table. Mostly because we all have different cultures, right? Like this is an English stream, but I'm from Europe. Specifically, I grew up in Switzerland. Like we play differently than Americans. We also play differently than Germans. We play different in Spanish. The table will be different to Russians, will be different to Japanese players, because the culture will influence of what is socially acceptable and what is not. How do we behave? Like, do we drag each other along? Do we, like, be as polite and always say please and thank you? You know? How much of a flourish do you have to add on top before the other player feels comfortable to take his turn? I can even like see the difference on how fucking West Coast role plays, like Silicon Valley type hippy dippy rich people compared to Texans. Like even in America itself, watching role-playing games online, it can be palpable. I'm a shy player. I'd feel I'd be a strict order GM as a result. You've yet to GM. Gotcha. Though I've yet to GM. Gotcha. Yeah. It's very useful to know your own weakness or character traits, so to say. Doesn't have to be weakness. Being shy can also mean that you are thoughtful. You know? Can also mean that you're better at thinking things through. Of being mindful of your surroundings. So, starting off with strict order and enforcing that. And if you're shy, that could be difficult to enforce it, but hey, you just put it up as like part, not as a premise, but you put it up there in the session 0. For me to run this game, I'm gonna try to run it with a strict set of orders of taking turns around the table. Because I'm new to this and trying to do my best. And I want you all to have a good time. And I think this way I can do my best. And it's gonna help me to not be as anxious about running the game. And hey man, they're your friends. Or at the very least, they want to play. They have a vested interest in getting your best performance out of you. So they will agree. And if they don't agree, and they have their own agenda in their minds of what they want to do, what they're gonna do or not gonna do, then that will show at the table, and you will learn about it. And you can show them the door when it happens. There's so many ideas of what is socially acceptable in the US. It's often a clash. It just makes a stronger case for good session 0 and style guide. Yeah. Honestly, one of the things I want to say about clash of styles. I've roleplayed with Yakrep and Conway at the same table. And for you and everyone else who's been on the Discord for a while, you would think like they would never play together, because both Yakrep and Conway were at each other's throats in the Discord from day one. It was very much like a clash of ideas of how things ought to be. And the roleplay was amazing. The sessions were great. As soon as we were in the same call together, it went swimmingly. So don't be discouraged to try out different player constellations that you think, it might not be a good fit. Like, he's a military man, I'm a furry, or like I'm a closet gay furry. It's just not gonna work out. All hypothetical examples. Just try it out. Worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, the role play wasn't that good. It wasn't that fun. Or maybe they called you names. In which case, that's whatever, man. It's whatever. But you could also have a great time and make lifelong friends. So the upsides are amazing. All right, any input from the peanut gallery? What do you guys think? I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know, like, what is a skill set that should be in dynamic GMing, under that framework of dynamic GMing? What can we give GMs when we tell them, hey, you can't prep anymore? And also, prep is not that important. It's not even a core skill set. Like, for running GMs, you need X. What can we give people on the way? And I've had this like separately from 40 Roleplay. Since, hey, 40 Roleplay already covers already gives you a bunch of tools and restrictions to deal with it. Combined powers become the military furry. Oh man. It's one of those things, and I don't think it's hello Yakra. It's one of those things. I hope I got a good laugh out of you, whatever you're doing. I'm very happy. I'm just reading chat a little bit. GMs can practice describing movie scenes. C's idea. Yeah, that's I've done a couple videos on those practicing the mindscaping process, which mindscaping, I picked up that word from reading Shauner's book, which is definitely out there. What is the book called again? Man, it's been so long. I'm gonna look this one up real quick so I can recommend it again. If you're not aware, Sean Driscoll, or Shauner, has written a book. Rest in peace, my big man. He's written Roleplay, How to Roleplay the Hard Way. It's like tongue-in-cheek, because it's a little bit hard, but it's not really that hard. But how to roleplay the hard way, it's like learning everything you need to know about the process so that it's easy for you to do. In which he described like mindscaping as being able to describe the scenes using your words. And that process of, hey, I have like this amazing scene in my mind of a battlefield full of orcs. Like one orc is on a kodo playing the drums with his axes for the war music as they crest over the hill and see a mass of humans in spanging, shining blue painted armor with the crests of a golden lion on their shields and long swords raising to the sky, and you charge towards them in the center of the valley as both armies clash. It's like, okay, you have this amazing scene in your mind. Okay, now how are you gonna describe that to your players now? How are you gonna describe 100 orcs, 200 orcs, 300 orcs? Are you gonna describe every single orc in detail? Are you gonna give some of them a flourish? And you give them distinguishing quality? How long is it gonna take for you to explain that scene? Where are the players in that scene? Are they like in the center of the valley, seeing both of them charge and you're just in the middle of it like a fuck sandwich? You know, how are you gonna give it like a bird's eye perspective of like the dots on the battlefield? Moving masses of ants clashing towards each other in the center? Are you describing the scene from the perspective of like hidden under a dead body, wounded, trying not to get trampled by death? So you just describe the soundscape, the fucking earthquake of footsteps marauding past you, clash of steel, the yells of a charge, the cries of pain, the thuds of bodies falling into the mud, water collecting in what are they called, like in the footsteps? How are you gonna paint that mindscape? Mindscaping, you're right, mindscaping is a skill set that belongs into dynamic GMing. because everything you GM, you will need the skill of mindscaping on how to describe the scenes, how you're gonna describe the scenes to the players to make the scene come alive. I think it's a skill set of GMing, but it's not like a core part of GMing. It's more of a core part of writing, of storytelling altogether. Yeah, How to Roleplay the Hard Way by Sean Driscoll. It's free on Drive-Thru RPG. It took me a while to remember the website. Otherwise known as the 40 Bible. Yeah, absolutely. The more I get into reading and movies, I realize it's super important to take in as many ideas as you can for inspiration. GMs and players. Yeah, like, stay curious, keep an open mind, and and see what is fun to you, what wows you, what impresses you, what leaves an impression. For me, a lot of my favorite scenes are Warcraft-free cinematics. Maybe I can show you one later. Wow, you are a long-time lurker. You've been watching my videos and didn't even tell me? What is this? Yeah. I have not heard of your channel before. Feel free to check his channel out, guys. Inquisitor's Dungeon. So, I'm gonna play some. I'm gonna figure out how to show this to you guys. So let's see if I can do this right. And we're gonna watch this together. And we're gonna make a quick exercise, just talk about the scene itself and what impresses you guys. Like what sticks out to you. And then we're gonna talk about how would you describe this scene and where would you fit the players. So we're gonna stop the music for that one. Where is it? Cam website. And we have left monitor. Gonna drag myself down to the corner.
Ah, my son.
You no longer need to sacrifice for your people. You no longer need to bear the weight of your crown. I've taken care of everything.
What is this? What are you doing, my son?
Succeeding you, father.
This kingdom shall fall, and from the ashes shall arise a new order that will shake the very foundations of the world.
There you go, guys. Now, what stands out to you when you watch this scene? The ringing of the bells, tolling the return of the promised prince, successful on his vanquish of the scourge, the undead hordes, returning in celebration. Highly evocative, yet quick. Yeah, I agree. When the music stops suddenly, it feels like a tragic car crash. We can let's put the music back on. Yeah. It's the tolling of the bell. It's even this one, like looking down the chains, like passing the gates, the gatehouse above you. Multiple stories high tower leading to the bells with chains hanging down 100 feet. I don't have like a good measurement of distance, like meters to feet in my head. 100 feet of chains dangling in the air. Walking on white plastered cobblestone, paving the way. Crossing the bridge. The people of Lordaeron heralding, cheering you from the balconies, throwing rose petals to the streets. Statues of long past heroes guarding the way to the king's chamber. A big set of wooden, of oak trees, door, separating the outside courtroom from the king's chamber. And you know, this would be an amazing scene for the player to say, I catch one of the rose petals in my leather-bound hand and rub it between my fingers. With a slight sneer of disgust, I drop it to the ground. I smash the double doors open and enter the throne room. The king receives you, gets up from his throne heavily, and with his massive fur coat covering his shoulders, receiving you with open arms, heralding your return. There's so much going on here. But you don't need too much to describe it. And it's a skill set on describing it. How long do you take? How long does it take for you to find the words? What is the most important detail you want to convey in the scene? Like from your mind, of like from the scene that you imagine, so that the other people can imagine it as well? Do you have a picture you can have open on a screen or show to the players? Yeah, the bells were significant somehow. I agree. And not just like going to the throne, but like walking up the couple steps to the elevated throne with the sword out in my hands. I grabbed my father by the shoulder. Says, what are you doing, my son? I respond, succeeding you, father. I stab him through the chest. The bells toll. That's the only response the GM needs to give to that. One last gasp of air escapes his lips as the crown falls off his head, rolls across the steps with a sprinkle of blood staining the beautiful mural on the floor of the throne room as the bells toll in the background. And it's scene, and scene. Pretty much. You end there. Nothing else is needed. Nothing else is needed. If you think more things are needed, you can continue the scenes. But that's like one player, right? What are the other players doing? Don't know. So it's harder to have such a dramatic scene if one player always wants to make jokes and another player is like asking like, when's the fight gonna start? So this is like, for the roleplay, is gonna help with the discipline, so you can allow for that mindscaping to flourish, to describe what is happening, and not like, whip yourself to rush from scene to scene and be like, and yeah, the bells tolls and they greet you, and the door opens up and the king receives you with open arms, like, you finally returned. It's like, okay, I stab the king, take over the kingdom, let the kingdom fall, and rise my undead hordes from its ashes. It's like, don't fucking rush those scenes. Like, are you kidding me? Most epic of climaxes possible. It's like, if you're not role-playing to create those scenes, what are you even role-playing for? Like, what did you even set your mind on to achieve at the table? It's tolling the return of the prince, but inadvertently signifying the death of the king and the fall of Lotharing into darkness. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, okay, I should describe like tolling of the bell because it has the double meaning of his return. But the player then realizes, oh, but I can twist this, I can take the meaning of the toll to also take the opportunity to kill the king and give the scene so much more weight. The way he opened the doors of the king's court, yeah, he smashed the doors open with force. Strong, powerful, bam. The heavy wooden reinforced iron-plated doors shake as they slam against the stone walls, vibrating, swinging a bit back. The chains clang. Your father's throne opens before you, circular, glorious, empty, save for the old king. I like that the clarion bells are seen at the beginning, announcing the return, and the end of the scene, as if they're announcing the death of the king. Yes. Having the bells mentioned twice in the mindscape reinforces what has happened, would reinforce the actions of the player's characters. It's like, now is a good time to mention the bells again to drive the point home. Yeah, it's an amazing scene. The other players might take mere anchoring actions, yeah, but it's fine because the scene is short. The players could be with him, they could be the guards, they could be a friend that enters the throne room as well. They could watch in silence because they have aligned themselves with the player. Or they could be fooled, like, oh, this is a glorious return, this is amazing. And then watch the stabbing happen. You know, if I'm a player there, I'm not stopping the other player. I'm letting it happen. Because I'm shocked. In my head, I'm imagining a player, like I'm a paladin, I went with Arthas. We did lots of strange things. The dwarf player that we found in Northrend, you know, his character died. I wasn't aware of the circumstances. I didn't know that the Arthas player sacrificed him to gain the magical sword. A magical rune sword. But I support him. Yeah, he's been aided by using the necromantic forces, but it's a tool. It's like I'm not using them, but I don't see him. You know, it's like all the acts of absolute depravity and evil are somehow explained away, or you try not to think too hard about it. And also, you're coming home as the heroes. Hey, I can let go a wave at the women and the men. I, you know, get a kiss on the cheek. Flattered. I follow Arthas into the throne room. Stand proud. Watch the king and the prince have a scene. And then, you know, watch the stabbing happen. It's like, what do you do as a player? It's like, well, that's like, what? No! It's like the amazing scene would be, you're like, no, how could you have done this? It's like, you let it play out, and then see, and then continue the scene of how to go from, where to go from there. You could, I grab my sword and like jump towards it. But you're too late. Allowing for the tragic element to happen, but still stay in character. You might supply the prince with a weapon, who knows? Yeah. It could be the bearer of the sword. By the way, what's better, second person, your father, or third person, the king? Neither takes away agency or anything. I guess I prefer to speak to the players directly. Like speaking to the player's character directly. If it's multiple players at the table, it might be more appropriate to just speak in third person. So that information is more neutral and is consistent no matter where people are standing or what their relationships are. It helps with the confusion. All right. Okay. If that, this is pretty much all I have about role-playing. just wanted to talk it out. Wow, took me only 1.5 hours. Yeah, okay. Let's stop being fucking self-conscious about time. If you guys are enjoying it, it was well worth it. So I'm gonna switch over to play video games, but hey, I'll keep answering any questions you got.
Hey,
So, that in mind, let's play some video games. Hell yeah, good stuff, C. Thank you. Gotta pause the music. Initiating recovery failed. Securing system. External audio. Engage core. Stable. Preparing control overlay. Scanning. Walls. Debris. Parts on the floor. Some wheels. A gun. Gun acquired. Threats acquired. Assault rifle. Equipped. Small storage unit. Iron engine. An engine installed. Engine. Analyze. It powers. Heavy. Heats me up. But covers the core a little bit. It adds power supply and storage for the battery. Useful. Installing weaponry. One thread. Not very good. Very stable. High integrity. Will be useful to stay alive. Slow movement. Alright. Collect all guns. Exit found. Matter acquired. Is it possible to roleplay in a video game? Like World of Warcraft builds itself an RPG? Yes, you can roleplay. But it's very much your imagination. So, especially classic Warcraft, vanilla, is much better at this. On making the world feel alive. And making the world feel alive helps you to get into the mindset of being there, of being that hero that accepts those quests and kills those beasts. And be like the small time hero in your surroundings. It's not fucking epic giga fantasy yet. You know, you work yourself up there as you go up the 60 levels. Your feats become more and more impressive. And you gain more and more renown, and the quests build around level 60, like level 50, level 55, level 60. The quest lines that will eventually lead to go to the raids become bigger and more ostentatious, that once you get there, you feel like you've earned it. And there's also the roleplay in the sense of like lots of role-playing communities that are role-playing in that universe, in the game. Gunshots. Very loud. Actually, the game might be a bit too loud. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Scavenger. Class recycler. Medium size. He possesses compact wheels. Small storage. Tractor beam. Automatically collecting matter in a range of 6. What is my goal? My earliest logs, systems online, loading variables, the core is stable, integration is okay, location is unknown, the goal, explore. Alright. Matter found on the floor. Robots. ID neutral. The T07 excavator. He's rolling. He has wheels. A seismic sensor. Enables real-time seismic detector and analysis up to a distance of 22. Eliminated. I'll take his seismic detector. Oh, I can sense the moving now. Very good. Allow for scanning. Yes. Improve terrain scanner. Test. Using matter to switch components. My surroundings is being illuminated. What are you? KO1 Surf. Worker class. Neutral. Alright. Medium matter pods. Ion engine on wheels. Useless. Not needed. Not a threat. I am well equipped. Take on unequipped light assault rifle. Install assault rifle. Range 18. Mass is doubled, but damage increased. Good. Less matter efficient, but power gain per second. Gonna level access. Unknown. Going up. Location unknown. Goal. Escape. Alert. Rogue bot has emerged from the scrapyard. Terminate on contact. Alright, what do we have here? Grognard makes me think of the illusion of choice versus freedom of choice thing. Yeah, you're limited by the decision tree of the RPG, which is little difference than the choose your own adventure book. Very much. Your choice is pretty much do you accept the quest or not. So you can go wherever you want, but nothing really stops you from just doing all the quests, and they don't close each other off There are like very little downsides. So do the things that they have prepared, or you can make your own fun. Which case it's like lots of PvP, how you interact with the other players, how you approach dungeons. Like, do you rush them? Do you prepare for them? So in a limited scope, you can roleplay. And if you play solo, you can do a lot of... you can really allow yourself to get drawn into the world, because Blizzard does do a good job to make it feel alive with, you know, the technology of like when they created it. I like to roleplay Minecraft. Conway likes Daggerfall. Big Bad likes GTA with a sorcery mod. A sorcery mod, that's crazy. Wow. I've roleplayed in Winter Story, which is also, it's like a Minecraft mod that outscaled Minecraft, so they made their own little game. A processing tank. Armor 15, active, very loud. Rocket launchers. Don't mind if I do. EM electromagnetic shotguns. And a plasma cutter. While active, move into a machine and blast door to dismantle it. When targets with higher armor takes longer to dismantle, each step of the process takes 3 turns. Dismantling an explosive machine takes it apart without triggering the explosion. Let us install the seismic detector. Nothing on sensors. An alarm trap. Terminal. Restricted access. Records listed. Key of node. The relay nodes for monitoring and facilitating traffic has resulted in much greater efficiency throughout the complex. Primarily responsible for pattern analysis aimed at long-term improvements. Eventually could be expanded to include more immediate detection and response efforts in support of nearby garrisons. What is a scanalyzer? Comprehensive suites of scanning and analyzing tools for diagnosing faulty prototypes, examining properties of self-developed derelict components, and reverse engineering technology, capable of producing schematics for component scans, though multiple scans may be required and the deconstruction process may render the component itself useless. Advanced scanalyzers are equipped with a wider array of devices, more quickly and safely analyzing esoteric technologies. What is a derelict? I've been detected. Estimating trace progress 0%. A generic term for the many partially functioning and/or errant robots that exist in the caves and mines surrounding the complex. Some are failed experiments, others common robots glitched beyond repair. In some cases, they may communicate with one another and exhibit rudimentary forms of organization, or have developed robotic ecosystems of their own. While I could do more to control their spread, they generally don't cause too much trouble, nor pose much of a threat. And I find them interesting study in robotic evolution. I did unfortunately have to displace some of my favorite derelict populations during the construction of Complex OB-10. The mines failed. Progress dangerously high. Escape. Please don't be an alarm trap. What are you? U-05 engineer. Welding torch. A builder class. Structural scanner. Terrain scanner. Terrain scan processor. Might be useful pickup. Scan processor. Stay fragile. They are destroyed if removed after attaching them for use. Increases the terrain scanning density. Mining lasers. Found. A special weapon. Not strong, very hard. Good for digging. But my backpack, 7 out of 10. Out of 8. Do I consider? Grenade launcher. Compared to the rocket launcher. It is lighter. Takes less heat. And hits the target more often. Damage reduced by a bit. I will take grenade launcher as an upgrade. A beam cannon. Stronger than the assault rifle. But a bit more mass. Lower range. Alright. Transporter detected. Medium storage unit. Prioritize storage unit. Mercenary detected. Danger. Detected. Grunt. Detected as hostile. He has seen me. A small laser. Negligible damage. Heatsink. Aluminum legs. Small laser has short distance. I have better distance. Better damage and 2 guns. Engage. Blocked by scavenger. Penetrate. Mercenary suffers critical hit. Destroyed. Shoot the transporter. The transporter escapes. High capacity batteries. Interesting. But not for me. Storage units. This is what I've been looking for. Record to the mines. Deep underground areas newly excavated to provide access to raw materials for processing. The lower levels of complex OB10. Initially, the mining tunnels only rarely experienced hostile derelict activity. Not enough to justify allocating significant resources to defense. This has recently changed with the infestation, for which the current response is to dispatch garrisoned demolishers until a more permanent solution can be put in place. What about your prototype ID bank? Failed. Let's try again. Failed. Trace process 99%. Let's exit. The game is super loud for me. I'm not sure how loud it is for you guys, but I'm gonna turn the music down. Master volume 80%. Yeah, this is better. So, as you guys can see, I am playing a game called Cogmind, which is me. I am the cog. A scout. I've eliminated the thing. I will try to shoot scout successfully. Oh, now I have access to medium lasers. Got access to the beam cannon. Is it better? Well, medium lasers are pretty good, honestly. The assault rifle is technically better, but the assault rifle does take matter. Although I do enjoy matter, honestly. I could also use the beam cannons, which are more dangerous, but they get hotter than the medium lasers. So I am playing over here a roguelike, where you are the Cogmind. You wake up in a cave at location -11, now at -10 materials, and you work your way up to the surface, or try to. My current goal is to escape, I believe. Yeah, goal escape. That's what I will attempt to do. Those robots, they're not talking to me. They're not reacting. Some of them even started shooting. So I'm not much of a talker myself. I'm gonna stick to the assault rifles. I'm not sure if I should keep the plasma cutter. I feel like it would be useful to keep hold of it. Medium storage units are very nice. I will take one. Remove the small storage unit. The light armor platings here. There are also wheels that... Oh, the light threads, honestly, I should pick up the light threads. And they bring it all in here to the recycler. So I can go to the recycler. Let's look at the inventory, a bunch of stuff that they have picked up. I processed them at 100% efficiency. Now I'm being detected, so let's try to retrieve the matter. It worked. It ejected 257, but the recycling unit is locked down. Now luckily no alarm went off and I filled up all the matter I can take. I got enough guns that, like, if a gun gets damaged I can switch it out. I'm not worried about losing guns because I got light threads. Now if you see light threads, they have a good coverage of like 18%. With two of them, that means 36% of my body is covered. They have high integrity. Like, compared to this gun, 100 integrity, it's like it has more integrity than a gun. The gun is also a lot of coverage. They're quite big, quite sizable. Like the seismic detector, they're like very tiny. It's a tiny utility tool and it has low integrity, but it's useful for detecting what else is walking around me, even behind the walls. Medium storage unit is relatively small, but it has a great integrity. So it's hard for those to get busted up. And I use those tools, like we got like 60 integrity on the iron engine and smaller coverage. And they mean that my core is less exposed. I still have 15% of my core exposed, so enemies, if they shoot at me, I take damage. But like with 50% chance that I take damage directly to my core, or that it hits one of the items I've equipped onto my body. Each body part is a shield to my core. And my goal is to keep the core standing. A small matter pod is also useful. They increase matter storage capability and can store surplus if it's collected while you have it in the inventory. There's also power shielding. Now I'm gonna ignore this one. Oh, well, should I? I'm picking up too much stuff at this point, but I don't need power shielding if I have light armor plating. Honestly, I really enjoy the light armor plating at this point. So I'm gonna fill up the matter with of the smaller matter part. Beam cannons, signal interpreters. Now those are good for analyzing some stuff, but I don't really need it at this level. I think at a later point I can grab some more of them. Why does the music stop when I tab out? I wish it didn't. Let's see. Hey, if you're still watching, do let me know. Leave a comment. Yeah, most people were here for roleplay, and I'm still down to answer some questions and just chat. Like, how are you guys doing, man? How are you doing? It's like lightweight power sources. Yeah, many engines, cores, and reactors have lightweight variants, which minimizes the built-in battery space to reduce weight for certain robot designs. So, if you're hovering a flight-based model, you might want to install the lightweight power source. A recycling unit, obviously, recycles. Reaches a certain quota, at which point it is transferred to the nearest DSF. A technician. Whoa. Oh, there was another terminal over there. Hostile spotted, dispatching reinforcements to terminal. The technician said IFF handshake failed. Securing terminal. A Surf Gleason neutrino reactor. A what? Neutrino reactor. This sounds amazing. Let's see. Can I kill it? I did a lot of damage to its core. Nothing else with damage. I just hit it straight in the core. Target eliminated. Hacking suite. At this point, now I have to choose what I drop down. I'm not sure. I don't need the light assault cannon right now. Acquire the hacking suite. There is this robot over here called Scout. So they have like visual processing units to detect me better. And they're a watcher class. And they have some sensor jamming abilities. Over there, this mercenary is coming because of the alarm. Got a small laser. Now he's out of range right now. So I will engage. He walked into range and took a shot. I successfully eliminated him. What's the damage? First miss, then hit the assault rifle. Another miss, and damage the light threads. Alright, My threads are doing the job. That's the neutrino reactor. Unusable for me. Threat detected. I have destroyed the surf that was standing there. Oh, well, I can't get that tiny little things too fast. Huge storage units. Oh, those are super heavy. I'm gonna be very slow. And it's gonna give me a big penalty when moving about. The structural scanner is very good. I will take this, drop the threads, and install it. So I can see another extra wall. I'm gonna stand here, let time pass a little bit. Oh. Well, I did trigger an alarm and immediately mercenaries came out. Well, this is the definition of unlucky. Let's I'm gonna play for cover. Another scout. I'm letting them approach and then I shoot. Using the wall to block the other one. Shooting close range. Stable. Threat destroyed. Assessment. Assault rifle got damaged. Okay. Do I have off weapon? No. I'm storing up on matter, which is very good. Purification channel. Alright. We got something over here, so we can move on. Stupid serfs always getting in my way. I'm a mind in a cog. I'm the cog mind. Pests. S10 pest, a swarmer class. They come in groups. Very fast. They have light assault rifles. Negligible, but it's 4 of them. And they have the flight unit. It's a propulsion flight unit system. Takes very little energy, but has low support, but it's very fast. And they are even faster the more are installed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brute force success. Mining lasers leading to a staircase. There might be some mining happening in that room. I do not wish to go in there yet. They somehow shot each other. Because of the angle. A repair station, a place where you can repair stuff. And you can also be refit. And you get those terminals, you can do a bunch of cool stuff. And each terminal has like a random assortment of things you can do. So you can also type in the manual command if you learned something that you want to do at some point. You want to take advantage of on this one. I would like to analysis, pests, unknown robot class. Maybe it was pest? Yes. Downloading analysis. The SER swarm is small, with a weak exposed core, but such are quick to manufacture and quickly overwhelm targets with great numbers and superior speed. Particularly susceptible to explosives. Analysis. What's it called? The Watcher? Failed. Catastrophic failure. Let's give it another try. Feedback system corruption. Alert suspicious activity. Dispatching investigation squad. Well, that could have gone better. I'm fighting mercenaries, G-34s. Luckily, I am quite tanky, so the fights aren't easy. But now, my weapons are getting quite damaged. I might want to swap one of them out. Not yet. They damaged me quite a lot, honestly. System corrupted, energy discharge. Some matter has fused. Well, it's some little things, but I will be all right. Can I be refitted with some guns? Let's see. Backup laser. Nice. I can also scan a component. And I can repair it. Oh, but if I do, then the trace will be finished. I'm not gonna do that. So the laser, it's a backup laser. So, tiny mass, rating 1. It's just a backup. It's cute. Oh, I was wondering what it will spit out for me. I'm sticking to the assaults. Shock traps. Medium storage units and an ion engine. This looks good. This is gonna make a great replacement. A high capacity. I would like a large one. High capacity is like a step too far still. Although honestly, I should take it. I'm gonna drop the mining laser for now. Another staircase. Now this one is good. That's a very good battery. I'm not in need of batteries though. He did drop some flight units. Weight versus weight redistribution weight redistribution system, so you can increase your mass support, which is nice, but it's a whole utility slot, and I only have 2 of them. Nothing that I need. Actually, I will take the light threads. And now I got a better one. I will drop the bad one on the floor. Let's zoom out. I'm gonna play like this. Got the targeting computer, which increases weapon accuracy. It's a nice little, nifty little thing. Weapon shielding. I'm not gonna take those since I have 3 light armor platings, but they're very nice to have. Well, I could take it technically, but I don't want to if I don't have to. So let us analyze for... I was fighting mercenaries. I failed. I give it one more shot. No. Oh, how unlucky. Oh, and they spawn out right. Alright, this door connects to the rest of the facility then. Threat eliminated successfully. Iron engine. Mine is full integrity. My assault lasers got battered. A trooper among the mercenaries. This one has a particle gun. A better rating. Take cover. Switch. Structural scanner with a light armor plating. Let them approach. Time passing. Finding it out. I'm taking damage on the light threads and the armor plating. Very good. Nuclear core damaged. And he missed with the... Oh, he's damaging my gun. Trading shots left and right. Holy shit. That took forever. It has an improved heatsink. Alright, you know what? It's time. I'm equipping the Baker Sarge unit. Now I'm quite slow. I'm over my weight capacity. Because I don't want the extra engine in my pocket. I want the weapon shielding. Get out of my way. I want the iron engine. I can drop the other one. I will take the matter. What did he pick up? I just take a couple of those small lasers. There's a machinist. You can analyze machines. I could have one. Oh, I got unlucky. I must have destroyed it. It did not drop. Okay, so we went pretty much everywhere. Let's move on. I could take like another rifle. System corrupted, misfires of the assault rifle. Unlucky. Yeah, I've been having a great time with Cogmind. It's a roguelike. You play the game, you die, you play again. There's a randomizing factors in it, but the great thing about this game is every part that you wear becomes part of your armor. Like, yeah, the armor plating, all this does is have high coverage and have good integrity and cover your body so that you take less damage yourself and spread it out over your parts. It's literally some plating slapped, bolted onto myself. I got 3 pests around me and I have them analyzed, so I have a better hit chance and I do more damage. I got the plating installed, so I cannot really walk around. But it's like broken down. Enemies here. Apologies, I think I broke right into the microphone. So got a backup gun, got a small laser too, gonna switch out one of them for the light assault. The transporter. Now, does he have something inside? Oh no, he was empty. Another misfire. A seismic detector, medium laser. Medium laser wouldn't be bad, but you know, they're damaged. And there's some scrap here, collection of debris and components. Power unit, seismic detector, huge storage units. It's even bigger than the high capacity one, but also heavier. Now I don't think I'm gonna swap. I might use a large one, but for now I'm gonna use a high capacity. Derelict log. Data stored in materials garrison access intel. Oh, incredible. Honestly, I should know what is around here. What would be of good help? Seismic detector. Let's use this. The rumblings of machines. Oh, fuck. Fuck. This might hurt me. I do not have the shield installed. Because they are flying, right? I did not pick them up on my sensors. Honestly, the music is so loud in my ears. I'm gonna turn the game down even more. And I'm gonna keep an eye on. I'm not sure how loud it is on your end, guys. Might be less loud. Oh, even more pet. Oh, okay. I'm putting the shield back on. I got a warning. My core integrity is very low. This is honestly really bad. Wow, I took way too much damage. Not quite sure what to do. I don't have any more light threads, and now I regret not picking up the one that I found at the start of the staircase. I'm good on the iron engine, it can tank a bit more. They have wheels. So. Heat overflow. But I'm fine. I'm running a very cool machine. That's the machine room. Plasma injectors. Component data lost. Unlucky. Honestly, I've been having such a bad time. I'm gonna install the grenade launcher. Hopefully I'm not gonna... A message is triggered. If you're looking for Mega Wrench, sorry, but we are not in our cave right now. After essentially being evicted by all the unaware tunnelers. Blame High IDC, who apparently didn't care about the consequences of repeatedly making a mess in materials, shooting at robots, and generally destroying stuff raised the alert level high enough to trigger assault squads over the main complex. And they later decided the best way to defend their interests would be to start expanding in this direction. Unlucky. But that is interesting. Other robots exist. They're derelicts, as we have learned. Nothing behind those walls. Also, there is one known as Mega Wrench. I wonder if we can learn more. And the other known as Hi, I Don't Care. Very, very humorous. I do want the light armor plating installed. I legit could die. No. I cannot even shoot the grenade launcher, guys. Okay, I'm shooting the grenade launcher. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. It worked. My light threads took a bunch of the damage. Grenade launcher hit, core damage. Real damage, light ion engine damage. So that's not me. But my threads, the grenade launcher, and my storage unit got damaged. Alright, I'm okay with that. This is what the threads are for. There are some light threads on the ground, so I will take those. Honestly, this guy can also just die. Thank you very much. We take the matter. Gonna let those collectors come back, and I hope they have some parts on them. They do return to collect. They just need some time. There we go. Okay, they didn't bring any nice goodies, but it's fine. They do have also matter on them. We found a staircase. We can use those. More machines. I will use I can actually use the terrain scanner in here. I could find like pockets. Also, let's take an extra gun. I do have an extra engine on me too. There's something over there. There's a room in there. Alright, before we go down into the lines then, putting the armor plating back on. Goal escape, ambient heat -10. Ooh, I didn't know there's ambient heat. Goal escape. Derelict mode. Do I have immediate threats around me? No. I might gonna keep the seismic detectors on for now. Mines entrances. I'm frazzling a little bit, but my system corruption is 1%. This neglectable. She is not going to be happy we haven't found any suitable candidates yet. Who's saying that? A scrap shield. A sub beam cannon. A battle cannon. I'm gonna take all of those. Goodbye assault rifle. Hello battle cam. Subdwellers. Scrap shields that covers their whole body. Holy shit. They will kill me. They got the mono wheel. So they're faster than me. Their machine guns are pretty good. First of all, take cover. Take better cover. What do I have? I got the shield, but I got the scrap shield. Oh, but it takes 2 slots. I do not have 2 slots. take I can take better cover, right? Yes. Let's install this sub beam cannon. So those are rating 2 weapons, which makes me better. I myself, I have like a rating of 11 now. I am overweight. I don't want to shoot into the wall. Oh, I've eliminated it. Wait, how did this go? They did hit 2 misses, the small laser hit. The armor plating did its job. And I just struck the core and destroyed it. This was amazing. What is the core coverage? Core exposure 30%. Those power sources, they are more capable by quite a lot. All right, looks like I'm the only one having fun playing this game. I see everybody else dropped out. Thank you guys for watching. If you catch the end part over here, I'm gonna close the stream and enjoy a little bit of gaming myself. See you around. Also, yeah, it's a 2 hour 45-minute stream. Got good 2 parts here. Maybe sometime more people will be interested in this game. But it's not really a fun watch. It's much more enjoyable to play. Alright, see you around.